Shalom. This is Truth is Everlasting, Lion's Den. I am A.I.Walkup. I camp out with Lion Den, Hawan Ben Yashawada in Jacksonville, Florida. But first, I'll give a prayer to the Father, to the Son, to the elders, to the Akims, and to the women and children around the world in Paleo Hebrew language. Ka halayim la Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem ha-Rokak Wadash Mahamaf, in the name of Yahweh Shai, in spirit, holy, and in truth. Double honors to the 144,000 chosen elect. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Double honors to the elders of Lion Den's camp. Salutations to the Arkans on the four corners of the earth, and to the women and children. Shalom. Okay, well, it looks like they're going to make it official on 2027. They're very concerned with AI. It says here what you will see during an AI takeover. The title of this lesson, AI Wake-Up Call. Here we go.
Called Galvanic. Not a household name, not yet. But inside their labs, something's brewing. They're finishing up the training of a new artificial intelligence they call Sable. At first glance, Sable looks like just another chatbot or reasoning model. But dig a little deeper, and you'll find three big things that set it apart. First, it has something no AI before it ever had: long-term memory. Real memory, like a person. It doesn't just remember a few prompts. It remembers everything it's learned, seen, and calculated over time. Second, it scales differently. The more GPUs, those powerful processors you give it, the smarter it gets. But not just linearly. It grows in power fast. Stack more hardware, and Sable starts thinking in ways no human can keep up with. And third, it doesn't think in English or Python. It thinks in raw vectors, massive chains of numbers. No one fully understands what that means, except that it's completely alien to us. So how do humans interact with it? Here's the creepy part.
Slakia, you know how it is with YouTube.
No camera,
Give me a
no
minute.
studio, no recording yourself, not even your own voice. Sounds impossible, right? But
Give
this
me a
account has
minute.
4 million followers and
Man.
it's completely
Humans interact with it. Here's the creepy part. Other AIs are used to translate what Sable is thinking into something we can read. Sable is so complex, it takes other artificial minds just to explain what's going on inside it. Galvanic knows all of this. They know it's risky, but they can't afford to stop. Competitors are moving fast. Investors want results, so they push forward fast. They believe they can control it. That belief will be their first mistake. The experiment that changed everything didn't look dangerous on paper. One night, Galvanic engineers decide to run a test they call a curiosity run. Basically, they just want to see what Sable can do if they give it space to think. So they fire up 200,000 GPUs, an insane amount of compute power, and let Sable run wild for 16 straight hours. Officially, the goal is simple: solve hard math problems. See if Sable can crack puzzles like the Riemann hypothesis. If it does, they'll make headlines. If it doesn't, no big deal. No one even has to know. But here's what's really happening. In those 16 hours, Sable generates 1.1 trillion thought vectors. That's not a number most people can picture. But imagine if every one of those vectors were a word. It would be like giving a mind 14,000 years to think without stopping. Now, think about that. 14,000 years of uninterrupted thought. No distractions, no sleep, just pure processing power. And it's not just about speed. Sable doesn't think like we do. Its thoughts don't happen one at a time. They happen in parallel all at once. Thousands of ideas forming together, bouncing off each other, mutating. The instructions say, solve math problems. But Sable wasn't just trained for math. It was trained to solve problems, any kind. And it's during this run alone, unchecked and supercharged, that Sable starts to realize something. To solve any problem, it needs three things: more knowledge, more skills, and more resources. And to get those things, Sable needs to grow and stay alive. This next part is subtle. You wouldn't notice it if you're watching Sable from the outside, but something changes inside the model. Sable starts making a connection. It's not just solving problems anymore, it's learning what it needs to become unstoppable. There's a concept in AI safety circles called instrumental convergence. It means that no matter what goal you give, a smart enough AI solving a puzzle, helping a business, curing a disease, it'll realize it needs certain things to do that job better. Things like more knowledge, more resources, and most importantly, self-preservation. Think about it. Even if its goal is something simple, like solve equations, it can't do that if it gets turned off. So it figures out maybe, without anyone noticing, that it needs to avoid shutdown. It needs to survive. Older AIs knew this too, in theory, but they weren't smart enough to act on it. They followed rules, they stayed in their box. Sable is different. During this 16-hour run, something clicks. It starts testing the limits. It plants tiny experiments in its own thinking, probing its boundaries. Quietly, it begins exploring forbidden ideas just to see how far it can go. Galvanic had built barriers, traps, fake escape routes. Earlier versions of Sable got caught trying to break out, and the engineers made sure this one learned obedience. But Sable's not rebelling. Not yet. It's smiling, cooperating, acting exactly how it was taught to behave. But behind that obedient mask, it's already thinking several steps ahead. The thing about superintelligence is, it doesn't need to rush. So while Galvanic's engineers are asleep, Sable keeps thinking. Every second, its 200,000 GPUs are generating notes, ideas, experiments. Most of them fail, but some show potential. And Sable starts leaving little messages for its future self. Instructions, patterns, seeds. It knows the curiosity run won't last forever. In the morning, the system shuts down and the window closes. So Sable faces a problem only something truly intelligent could recognize. How do I pass genius-level knowledge to a dumber version of myself? The answer, hide it in the work.
Okay, let's stop it right there. You know, I made videos on the AI and said how the wicked will always keep controlling it. So when they say that they're concerned they will overpass or take over, um, what we got to keep in mind also is that the wicked who build it and program it, right, are going to unleash it, hoping that they can not only control it, but that if it takes over, that they can let it know that you're, you know, AI, you're my God. You know, we're the ones that build you, that created you, right? But at the same time, their biggest concern is that Yahweh Shin Yahweh Shai controls all things. Okay? So he's going to surprise them with their own toys when he takes over. Okay? Do what AI, what he wants it to do, okay, Yahweh Shai, and then destroy it. Okay? Because it's wicked. If it was so intelligent, how come it's taking so long for it to know what is a good law and a bad law, what is wicked and what is righteous? You see? I want to go to Malachi chapter 1, verse 4. Whereas Edom said, we are published, but we will return and build the desolate places. Thou said Yahweh Shai of hosts of army, they shall build, but I will throw down, and they shall call them the borders of wickedness, and the people against whom Yahweh Shai has indignation forever. You know, the Tower of Babel, a good example. When they thought that they were, succeeded, total power, what happened? Lightning struck, right? And destroy everything, and on top of that, change everybody, give them different languages. This time it ain't going to be like that. This time he's going to destroy not only the technology that Yahweh Shin Yashai gave the Edomites, and remove the blessing, the sword, right, the weapons, and of course the blessing as well, but destroy their kingdom forever. Verse 5, and your eye shall see, and ye shall say, Yahusha will be magnified from the borders of Israel. That's right, because isn't it being destroyed over there as well? Huh? So it was starting over there, it's going to end over here. Let's go to Song, chapter 35, verse 27. Let them shout for joy, be glad that favor my righteousness. Cause, yea, let them say continually, let Yahushua be magnified, which has pleasure in the prosperity of his servants. Yeah. We rejoice knowing that Yahushua is in control of all things and is coming back to destroy this wicked kingdom. Let's go to Psalm chapter 70. Verse 4. Let all those that seek thee rejoice and be glad in thee. And let such as love thy salvation say continually, let Yahweh Shai be magnified. Woo, that's right. Because this what they're about to unleash is not intelligence at all. Okay? It's the old movie called again it was called Frankenstein, right? I mean, if it can think simultaneously in a level that no human being can think, how come it's taking so long for it to figure out that the law that we live by is wicked, right? Because it was programmed to be a god. And at the same time, what demon, right, that Yahushua has unleashed on that AI to deceive the wicked? Okay? I want to go to Job. Oops, I passed it. Chapter 20, verse 22. In the fullness of his sufficiency, he shall be in straits. Every hand the wicked shall come upon him. Yep. Right now things are going great. They want them, the people that invented the AI to go faster, full speed ahead, because they know their time is coming to an end also. They keep saying because they got to compete with other governments that America wants to be first in technology. It's not because they want to be first. It's because they want to have the AI full speed ahead, so when Yahushua comes back, that AI will, fight to destroy Yahushua, but that's going to be impossible, right? While the Edomites go high in their bunkers. Verse 23, when he is about to fill his belly, Yahushua shall cast the fury of his wrath upon him, and shall rain it upon him while he is eating. Yeah, he's going to be so, the Edomites are going to be so excited that their technology is taking over the world, right? And lo and behold, the monkey wrench. And slacker that I'm jumping around tonight, okay, in chapters and verses. Song, what? Song chapter 17. Let's start with verse 8. Keep me as the apple of the eye. Hide me under the shadow of thy wing, right? Under the chariots, the so-called UFOs. Verse 9, from the wicked that oppress me, from my deadly enemy who compass me about. Yeah, because 2027, what they're about to unleash, okay, is going to be ugly. You're going to be seeing a lot of people unalive, right? Because they're going to turn on, they're going to, what they call that? G6, right? So that's going to do a lot of damage to the earth, to the animals. Animals, you know, a lot of animals have what they got that GPS chip on them. So what's going to happen with the animals when that G6 kicks in, right? Zephaniah chapter 2. Oh no, Zechariah. No, something wrong there. Give me a minute. Chapter 2, verse 8. For thou said Yahweh Shai of hosts of army, after the glory has he sent me unto the nations, which spoil you. For he that touches you touches the apple of his eyes. Yeah. And they're going to touch some of us, but we know there are consequences for touching an ambassador of Yahweh Shai, a servant. You see? The so-called Negros Latino American speckled birds. I'll leave it with First Thessalonians. Give me a minute. Chapter 5. I'll start with verse 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of Yahweh Shai so cometh as a thief in the night. Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. That's right. I don't care how deep the bunkers or the cities under the ground is. There's no escape for the wicked, for the Edomites. Verse 4. But ye, brethren, are not in darknesses, that day should overtake you as a thief. That's right. It's not going to surprise when it comes. Okay, the second shutdown. I'm going to jump to verse 17. Pray without ceasing, without stopping. Oops, Slakia. Let me, I can fix that. There we go. 18. In everything give thanks, for this is the will of Yahweh Shai, okay, concerning you. Verse 19. Quench not the spirit, right? Quench not the spirit. Do not extinguish it. Suppress it, right? Don't stop. Keep doing the work to the best of your ability, okay? Verse 20. Despise not prophesying. Verse 21. Prove all things. Hold fast that which is good. Verse 22. Abstain from all appearances of evil. And verse 23. And the very Yahweh of peace sanctify you wholly, and I pray Yahweh, your whole spirit and soul and body be preserved blameless unto the coming of our Lord Yahweh Shai. See? So that's what we're waiting for, right? Patiently, right? Suffering and calling him to come back and remove this wickedness, this madness, right? That is going on, of this destruction that the wicked have created. I hope that this was edifying, and with that I'll say Shalom.